Istanbul in the 1600s was the undisputed capital of the known world, a metropolis eclipsing London and Paris combined, with a population exceeding 700,000 souls. It was a city suspended between two continents, shaped by the relentless currents of the Bosphorus and the Golden Horn, serving as the beating heart of the Ottoman Empire. In this video, I use modern AI tools to bring historic miniatures, sketches, and travelers' accounts to life, allowing us to shift perspective, change camera angles, and move through the streets of Constantinople in ways the original artists could only imagine. First, I want to explore the chaotic waterfront of Eminönü and the Golden Horn, a commercial hub that functioned as the lungs of the city. By the 17th century, this wasn't just a harbor, it was a floating marketplace where the wealth of three continents converged. Hundreds of ships, galleys, and small caiques crowded the water so densely that from a distance, the masts looked like a scorched forest rising from the sea. The shoreline was lined with wooden warehouses, customs offices, and frantic markets where spices from India, silk from Persia, and timber from the Black Sea were traded daily. This density created a logistical nightmare. The narrow streets leading up from the water were constantly gridlocked with porters, donkeys, and horse-drawn carts, struggling to move goods into the city's interior. The buildings here rose precariously high, timber frames leaning over cobblestone alleys, creating tunnels of shadow where sunlight rarely touched the ground. Just like in London, fire was a terrifying and constant danger here. Congestion was a way of life, and yet this disorder was the engine of the empire's economy. Entering the city here meant passing through a sensory bombardment, passing beneath the invisible weight of imperial oversight. The Golden Horn functioned as the primary highway of daily life. While the Bosphorus connected the empire to the wider world, the Horn connected the city to itself. Ferrymen rowed thousands of passengers daily between the historic peninsula and the northern district of Galata. In severe winters, the Bosphorus would churn with icy currents, making these crossings treacherous, yet the movement never stopped. This view creates a striking contrast between the dark, muddy streets of the port and the glittering majesty of the skyline above. Moving inland, the Grand Bazaar was already an ancient labyrinth by the 1600s, a city within a city that had been expanding since the conquest. It was a densely built commercial organism, covered by lead domes that protected shoppers from the elements and the noise of the outside world. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of musk, coffee, and leather. Merchants sat cross-legged on raised wooden platforms, surrounded by stacks of carpets and jewelry, while customers navigated the dim, lamplit corridors. It functioned simultaneously as a bank, a marketplace, and a social club. Rich and poor rubbed shoulders here. Janissaries, foreign ambassadors, and common laborers all drifted through these same arches. Yet, just like the bridges of Europe, it was crowded, dark, and notoriously difficult to navigate for newcomers. It slowed movement but accelerated wealth, posing risks of theft and disease, yet for centuries it remained indispensable to the Ottoman way of life. Sometimes I wish I could step back and experience the deafening roar of this trade, even just for a single hour. For now, this AI reconstruction allows us to wander these lost corridors. This is the district of Galata in the early 17th century, staring back at Istanbul from across the water. Historically a Genoese colony, it stood apart from the city's Islamic core, a place of stone towers and foreign merchants. At the time, this area marked the boundary between the strictly regulated Ottoman capital and the more permissive European quarter. It offers a reminder that even as the empire unified vast Mayans, distinct worlds existed mere hundreds of meters apart. In July 1660, Istanbul was struck by the Great Fire, a catastrophe that reshaped the city's demographics and architecture. What began as a small blaze in a straw market quickly spread through neighborhoods built largely of timber, turning the dense residential quarters into an inferno that lasted for 2 days. The first image shows the slope near the Spice Bazaar in flames, with the minarets of the new mosque, which was still under interminable construction, silhouetted against the orange glow. Soon, thousands of homes would be consumed. The second view looks down from the Galata Tower as the smoke chokes the Golden Horn. Istanbul appears as a cauldron of destruction. To the left, the Topkapi Palace walls stand firm, while to the right, the commercial districts are reduced to ash. In just 48 hours, 2/3 of the city was devastated. Yet the fire marked a turning point, forcing the Sultan to issue new edicts on stone construction and clearing space for the completion of the Valley Sultan's Mosque, reshaping the skyline we see today. Rising above the confluence of the seas, Topkapi Palace in the 1600s stood as the absolute center of royal power. By this time, it functioned not just as a residence, but as the brain of the state, housing the Sultan, the holy relics, the treasury, and the imperial harem. Unlike European palaces, which were single massive blocks, Topkapi was a series of pavilions and courtyards, a layout reflecting the nomadic heritage of the Turks. High-profile political rivals and fallen viziers were often imprisoned or executed within its outer walls. The palace also housed the Enderun School, where the empire's elite administrators were trained, reinforcing its role not just as a place of luxury, but as a machine of governance. This scene shows the Hippodrome, or At Meydani, in the early 17th century. It was Istanbul's most important ceremonial square, the stage for imperial circumcisions, guild processions, and violent janissary uprisings. At the center stands the ancient Egyptian obelisk and the serpentine column, familiar landmarks that had witnessed the rise and fall of Rome before the Ottomans ever arrived. While soldiers, pashas, and crowds fill the open, dusty ground, moments like this reflected the delicate balance of power between the Sultan and his military elite. Today, this same stretch survives as Sultanahmet Square, a place where the footprint of the Roman track remains, even as the Ottoman structures around it have evolved. This image shows the religious and political complex of the Blue Mosque, or Sultan Ahmed Mosque, in 1617, viewed from the Hagia Sophia at a moment when the empire was asserting its piety. On the left stands the massive dome, still gleaming and new. By the early 17th century, it had become the focal point of controversy due to its 6 minarets, a feature previously reserved for Mecca. Just beside it lies the vast courtyard used for prayer and gathering. Its cascading domes symbolize the hierarchy of the heavens and the Sultan's God-given right to rule. To the right dominates the Hagia Sophia, the converted church that served as the model and the rival for this new masterpiece. For centuries, it had served as the spiritual anchor of the city, but in the 1600s, it stood in dialogue with its new neighbor, creating the iconic silhouette that defines the city today. In 1617, the completion of the Blue Mosque reshaped the city's center, cementing the Ottoman legacy in stone. At the center of the scene are the fountains and public baths, essential infrastructure in a city that prioritized cleanliness and ritual ablution. In an age before modern plumbing, the aqueducts and fountains functioned as the city's lifeblood, carrying water from the Belgrade forest directly to the doorstep of the faithful. This etching shows the shore of the Bosphorus in 1640, lined with wooden yali mansions belonging to the elite.
From these water-facing steps, viziers and foreign envoys arrived by boat, underscoring the Bosphorus as Istanbul's main route of travel and leisure away from the crowded peninsula. Stretching along the strait, these summer homes were not just retreats, but places of intrigue, where private diplomacy was conducted. Most of these 17th century structures were lost to dampness and fire over the years, and today only a few reconstructed examples survive, standing as ghosts of a vanished lifestyle. This is the Maiden's Tower in the 17th century, standing lonely in the strait. Originally a watchtower and a customs checkpoint, it became the subject of countless legends and a favored subject for artists, offering a vantage point to look back at the sprawling imperial city. It was here that ships would salute the Sultan's capital before sailing into the Black Sea. Over time, the tower was battered by earthquakes and rebuilt repeatedly, and today it remains a symbol of the city, though its 1600s form is known only through sketches. Standing here, looking back at these moments, it's hard not to feel how close the past really is. These streets, these mosques, these waters shaped the world we live in. And through these reconstructions, we get just a glimpse of what it was like to be there, at the center of the world. If there's another imperial capital, another moment in time, or a historic scene you'd like to see brought back to life, let me know in the comments. I'd love to keep building this journey into the past with you.